Okay guys, so Black Friday has come and gone, and it's time to reveal the next step in my fishing evolution. And I was waiting until Tackle Warehouse had their Black Friday sale before I went and made these purchases. And luckily for me, and for a lot of you guys too, Tackle Warehouse had one of their better sales this year at 20% off versus the last few years. I remember, I think they only had like 15% off last year or something like that. I could be wrong, but nonetheless, 20% off this year, and I took advantage. Okay, so we got this. Now, I got this box about a week ago, but I wasn't able to film this unboxing until now. So I kind of forgot what I have in here. So I'm going to dump these contents out. There we go. Now, I did not go all out this year on Black Friday for the holidays like I did last year. Because last year I spent quite a few $1,000s on fishing reels from Japan. So this year I decided I would kind of rein that in. But yeah, this is what I got. I am getting into the Swimbait game. I should say I'm dipping a toe into the Swimbait game. Starting with these lures and this line. Now, originally I was going to get the Mike Bucca Bull Shad, the original, but I figured since I'm just dipping a toe into the Swimbait game, I could try out the copy of the Bucca Bull Shad, the Boyd Duckett BD Series BD Shad. And I got, I think the, what is this, the 6-inch? And then the 5-inch. These are a lot smaller than I thought they'd be. And these colors or patterns are supposed to match what I have here in my local lakes. We have several types of shad. I think we have the redfin. I know we have gizzard, big gizzard shads that are sometimes, you know, over 6 inches long. So I figured these would work the best. And these are less than half the cost of the original Mike Bucca Bull Shads. So I figured if I was going to just dip a toe into the small Swimbait game, I wouldn't go all out, because it's very easy for me to just whip out a credit card and go buck wild, buy a new Antares DC monster driver, you know, the latest Evergreen or Megabass Swimbait rod, and you know, next thing you know, I'm $2,000 into this thing, and I may not even like, you know, fishing swimbaits. I may not have any success. So the smarter move was to go budget first, which I did, and I'm going to be using Yozuri Hybrid 20-pound copolymer. So hopefully this will be strong enough to cast this big lure right here. Now, if you guys who are experienced in swim baits have any better suggestions than this, then let me know. Now, this isn't all. I, of course, had to get a swim bait rod. So let me show you what I got. Okay, so now it's time to get into the rod that I picked. Now, my first choice was the Megabass Levante Leviathan model. And unfortunately, I couldn't find that model anywhere. They seem to be sold out. I think it's because they're coming out with a new Levante line soon, I heard. And I believe Tackle Warehouse has lowered the price on the current Levante. So since I didn't want to wait, or maybe that Levante Leviathan wasn't even going to be in stock anymore, I decided to go with my second choice after researching swimbait rods on Tackle Warehouse's website. And I think I found the perfect rod. It is the iRod Genesis 2 with its striking green accents. And I have the Junior Swim model. since I'm getting into small swim baits and not the big, 8, 10, 12 ounce, 2 foot long swim baits. And the ratings for this rod is they consider it a medium heavy, 7 foot 8 inches, lure weight 1 to 4 ounces, which is perfect since I don't think any of those swim baits are over 2 ounces, and line 12 to 20 pounds. So you can see here, this is a good looking rod. It's got a split grip, which is kind of funny. Most swim bait rods have a full grip. And yeah, I'm very pleased with it. Now when I first got it, I took a look at it and I was like, wow, that's kind of thin to be throwing swim baits. As you can see, I believe I have some medium heavy bass rods that are thicker in this lower section than this eye rod. But after seeing reviews on YouTube and reading reviews, I figured iRod knew what they were doing, and I decided on this. So I'm very pleased with it. And yeah, I hope it'll do the trick. And of course, this was not expensive to begin with. I think they're only $150 retail, but then with 20% off, I got a pretty good deal on it. So next up is the reel. Okay guys, so let's talk about the reel. Now, it's probably disappointing for a lot of you guys, but I did not purchase a specialized swim bait reel. I have so many damn reels that I thought to myself, I have to have at least 1 or 2 reels that can throw these small swim baits. And keep in mind, I'm only, testing the waters of this swim bait game, so I didn't want to go all in and just make a purchase of a reel, find out that I don't like fishing swim baits, and then I'm stuck with this reel that I probably wouldn't be able to sell off that easy. So that being said, I've studied a lot of the big swim bait YouTubers like Big Bass Dreams. I'm sub to him. Tactical Bassin, of course, I'm sub to them. That's a great channel. And I'm looking at their swim bait footage, and I'm looking at the distances they cast these swim baits, and it does not appear to be very far at all. In fact, I'd be surprised if they, hit 35 yards throwing these big swim baits. So that being said, I took a look at my massive reel collection, and I narrowed it down to 3 reels. And let me show you my choices here. First up is the original TATULA Type R. Now this thing has huge line capacity. It's got a really wide and deep spool. In fact, I've transferred line from this to a CURADO 200, and the CURADO 200 couldn't hold all the line that the original Type R held. It's got a nice 90mm handle. It's got an aluminum frame and side plates. So I think this would be perfect for small swim baits. But I don't like magnetic braking, so the second choice is the LEWS BB1 Pro, 2nd generation. As you can see, this has got a huge deep spool here. It's going to hold a ton of line. It's already got the big long handle with the power knobs. Now it's kind of lightweight, so I don't know how it's going to balance on that rod, but it's got a huge drag as well. Now granted, this still has to go through a lot of the standardized testing, but yeah, this was an option. And then we have the more extravagant option, the original CALAIS DC. Now I included this reel because I want to use it more, and I think this would balance on that longer rod better. Now it probably has the least amount of line capacity out of these 3, but I remember during my quest for the 100-yard cast that I cast it off, I think 75 yards using 15-pound line. And so I think this would hold more than enough line. Of course, you know, you got your advanced DC braking to handle all sorts of conditions, especially since I think these swim baits will probably tend to tumble through the air. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and have a little mini swim bait tournament, a little swim bait Olympics, to see which one of these rods is going to suit, I should say, one of these reels is going to suit my purposes the best. Now, it's not just going to come down to cast distance, even though that's important, especially where I'm going to be fishing, but the balance as well, and of course, you know, other factors like drag, cranking power, etc. Okay guys, so there we have it. This year's Black Friday acquisitions. Now, it was not nearly as extravagant as last year's purchases for me, but in my opinion, it's more exciting, especially since I'm going to have the chance to target a fish that I've been wanting to catch ever since I was a kid, and we'll get more into that later. But I do want to know what you guys spent your hard-earned money on this year. Now, it doesn't have to be, you know, from Tackle Warehouse. It could be from any retailer. Did you get your first Shimano DC reel? Or maybe you got your first Bait Finesse reel, or maybe you got your first LOOMIS NRX, because 20% off an NRX, that's a lot of savings. Or maybe you got your first STEEZ. So let me know in the comments what you got. And also, let me know in the comments which reel you think I should pick to do this small swim bait fishing. Okay guys, thanks a lot.